Okay, so we're diving into family succession planning
We are.
with this big stack of articles and notes, right?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty intense, right?
Yeah.
But don't worry. By the end of this deep dive,
Okay.
I promise you'll be navigating this topic like a pro.
I like that. Yeah.
So we're focusing today on insights from C.A. Raj Lakotia,
Okay.
who has over 23 years experience in this field.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
he's put together this really comprehensive guide,
All right.
and we're going to break down those key takeaways
Yeah.
so you can walk away with some practical knowledge that you can apply to your own family.
That's right. This isn't just about understanding theory. It's about equipping you with actionable insights that you can apply to your own family situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's jump right in.
Okay.
What's the big deal with succession planning anyway?
Yeah. What is the big deal?
Is this just something for the super rich to worry about?
That's a common misconception. Succession planning is often associated with large estates and family businesses,
Right.
but it's really about ensuring a smooth transition of any important asset.
Any.
Yeah, it could be a business property investments,
Okay.
or even something like treasured family heirlooms.
So it's not just about like the dollar value, it's about the sentimental value as well.
Exactly. And one of the primary goals that Raj Lakotia emphasizes is to preserve family harmony.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
When emotions run high,
Mm-hmm.
even seemingly small things can become points of contention.
Oh, I can definitely see that happening.
Right.
Families can be passionate, to say the least.
To say the least.
So let's say we don't plan.
Okay.
What are some of the potential consequences?
Well, things can get messy.
Okay.
Raj Lakotia outlines some pretty significant consequences.
All right.
And he doesn't just list them out. He gives concrete examples.
Okay.
He talks about a case where a family business lost a significant portion of its value
Oh, wow.
because there was no clear plan for leadership after the founder passed away.
That's a stark reminder of why planning is so important.
Yeah.
Wow.
He also highlights how a lack of planning can lead to financial strain, missed opportunities,
Okay.
and even legal battles between family members.
Okay, so it's not just about avoiding awkward Thanksgiving dinners. It's about
not just about awkward Thanksgiving dinners.
protecting the family's future.
It's about protecting assets, and it's about preserving those family relationships
Yeah?
that are so valuable.
Well said. So we've established that succession planning is important.
Yes, we have.
But where do we even begin?
Well, Raj Lakotia suggests starting with a clear understanding of your family's values and goals.
Okay.
He calls this setting the stage.
Okay.
It's about identifying those core principles that guide your family
Yeah.
and shaping your vision for the future.
So we're laying the foundation.
Yeah, we are.
What are some specific questions that we should be asking ourselves at this stage?
I'm glad you asked that. Lakotia encourages families to think about the legacy they want to leave behind. What stories do they want to be told about their family?
Yeah.
What values do they want to pass down to future generations?
So more than just like the financial inheritance.
Right. It's more than just the financial inheritance.
It's about like the values and the traditions.
It's about the intangible legacy of values and traditions.
That's a powerful concept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not just about the money, it's about the meaning behind it.
Exactly. And he provides some really thought-provoking prompts to help families delve deeper into this.
Okay.
He asks things like, what are you most proud of as a family?
Mm-hmm.
And what lessons have you learned that you want to share?
Those are great questions to kind of get the conversation started.
Yeah,
It's reflecting on the past and envisioning the future.
exactly. He also suggests discussing how the family wants to be remembered by future generations.
Wow. Okay. So we're getting deep here.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about preserving wealth.
Uh-huh.
It's about shaping a legacy that extends beyond the immediate family.
That's right. And this setting the stage phase is crucial because it lays the groundwork for all the other decisions that will follow.
It's like we're building a house.
Uh-huh.
We need a strong foundation before we start putting up the walls.
Exactly.
So once we have a clear understanding of our values and our goals,
Yes.
what's the next step?
The next step is to start building the actual plan.
Okay.
And Raj Lakotia breaks this down into a clear, manageable structure.
Okay.
He talks about the importance of identifying future leaders,
Okay.
developing their skills, creating timelines, documenting everything,
All right.
and maintaining open communication throughout the process.
It's not just this like vague idea of what we want.
No,
It's a concrete plan with actionable steps.
exactly.
Yeah.
And he stresses the importance of not making assumptions about leadership.
Okay.
Just because someone is the eldest child or has always been involved in the family business
Right.
doesn't automatically mean they're the best fit to take over.
That's an interesting point. So we need to be objective and consider all potential candidates,
Yes, you do.
regardless of like birth order or previous experience.
Right. Lacotia suggests looking for individuals who possess a specific set of qualities,
Okay.
including integrity vision and a strong work ethic.
Okay.
He also emphasizes the importance of adaptability and resilience,
Especially in today's world.
especially in today's rapidly changing world.
Yeah. So it's not just about technical skills.
Right.
It's about those intangible qualities
It is.
that allow someone to navigate challenges and to lead effectively.
Exactly. And he provides a really helpful framework for evaluating potential leaders based on these criteria.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about finding a perfect clone of yourself.
Yeah.
It's about identifying individuals who embody the family's values
Right.
and have the potential to lead the family towards a shared vision for the future.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this all comes together.
That's
It's
yes.
about identifying those future leaders and then nurturing their potential.
That's right. And Lacotia stresses that leadership development is an ongoing process. It's about providing opportunities for growth mentorship
Yeah.
and even formal education if
Wow.
needed.
So it's not just about like throwing them into the deep end.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about providing the support and the guidance
Right.
that they need to succeed.
Exactly. And it's important to start early.
Okay.
Don't wait until a crisis or a sudden transition to start thinking about leadership development.
I can definitely see the value in that. It's about being proactive and preparing for the future.
Right. And he also highlights the importance of open communication throughout this process. It's about keeping everyone informed,
Yeah.
addressing concerns,
Right.
and make sure everyone feels heard and respected.
Communication is essential in any relationship, especially within a family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he even suggests having regular family meetings dedicated specifically to succession planning.
Okay.
This can help to create a culture of transparency and collaboration.
So it's about making it a priority,
Yes.
not just like a once in a blue moon conversation.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And he provides some really practical tips for structuring those meetings and ensuring they're productive.
That's really helpful. It's one thing to talk about the importance of communication,
Yeah.
but it's another thing to have concrete strategies for making it happen.
Right. And he also emphasizes that communication is not just about talking.
Oh.
It's also about listening.
So it's a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
It's about creating a space for dialogue,
Yes, it is.
ensuring that everyone feels heard.
Exactly. And this is particularly important when it comes to addressing the emotional side of succession planning.
Okay, now we're getting into the heart of the matter. This isn't just about logistics and legal documents.
No, it's not.
It's about family dynamics and emotions.
That's right. And Raj Lacotia acknowledges that these conversations can be challenging.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about the importance of empathy and understanding.
So it's not about pushing your own agenda. It's
Right.
about considering everyone's perspectives and feelings.
Exactly. And he provides some really helpful tips for navigating those difficult conversations. He talks about the importance of active listening, validating emotions, and finding common ground.
Those are really valuable insights. It's about creating a safe space for those conversations to happen
Yeah.
and ensuring that everyone feels respected.
Right. And he also emphasizes that sometimes it can be helpful to bring in a neutral third party,
Okay.
like a therapist or a mediator, to facilitate those conversations.
So it's not a sign of weakness to seek outside help.
No, it's not.
It's a sign of strength and a commitment to doing this right.
Exactly. And it could be especially helpful when dealing with sensitive issues, like ownership and management succession.
Okay, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
Let's talk about the difference between ownership and management succession.
All right, let's talk about it. Lacotia explains that ownership succession focuses on who will legally own the assets in the future. This could be shares in a company property titles, or even ownership of those cherished family heirlooms. Management succession, on the other hand, is about who will be responsible for the day-to-day running of things.
So you could have one person owning the business,
Yes,
but someone else running it.
exactly. And he points out that these two roles don't always have to go hand in hand.
Okay.
In fact, it can sometimes be beneficial to separate them,
Okay.
especially if there are family members with different skill sets and interests.
I can see how that would make sense. It's about finding the best fit for each role, rather than assuming that one person has to do it all.
Right, and he provides some specific examples of how families have successfully navigated this.
Okay.
taking into account factors like experience, education, and even personality traits.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
It's one thing to understand the concepts,
Yeah.
but it's another thing to see how they've been applied in real-world situations.
Absolutely. And he stresses that clarity is key here.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to understand the roles and responsibilities.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a clear process for decision-making.
Okay, so we're creating a clear roadmap for the future, with everyone knowing where they stand and how the pieces fit together.
Exactly. And he also highlights the importance of documentation.
Okay.
It's not enough to just have these conversations. You need to put it all in writing.
So it's about creating a formal agreement that outlines everyone's roles and responsibilities.
Right. This could be a family constitution, a shareholders agreement, or even a simple memorandum of understanding.
Okay.
The key is to make it clear and legally binding.
I can see how that would be important.
Yeah.
It's about preventing misunderstandings and ensuring that everyone is on the same page.
Exactly. And he provides some really helpful examples of what to include in these documents.
Okay.
Ensure that they cover everything from decision-making processes to conflict resolution mechanisms.
This is really starting to feel like we're building a solid structure brick by brick. But what about those unexpected events that can throw everything off course?
Right.
Like, how do we plan for those what-ifs?
That's where contingency planning comes in. And Lacosia dedicates a significant portion of his guide to this,
Okay.
emphasizing that it's not just about hoping for the best, it's about preparing for the worst.
Okay, so we're talking about things like illness, disability, or even death.
Exactly. These are difficult things to think about, but ignoring them won't make them go away.
Yeah, that's true.
And he really drives this point home with a real-life example.
Okay.
He talks about a family business that was thrown into chaos when the CEO suddenly passed away without a designated successor.
Wow, that's a sobering thought. It highlights how important it is to have a plan in place,
Yeah.
even if we hope we never have to use it.
That's right. And he provides a very specific framework for creating a contingency plan.
Okay.
He suggests starting by identifying those key roles within the family or business that would need to be filled if something unexpected happened.
So it's about creating a sort of backup list for those essential roles.
Exactly. And then it's about identifying individuals who could potentially step into those roles and making sure they're prepared.
So it's not just about having names on a list.
No.
It's about actively preparing those individuals to take over if needed.
Right. And Lacosia emphasizes that preparation can take many forms.
Okay.
It could be mentoring, shadowing, or even formal training.
Okay.
The key is to equip those potential successors with the knowledge and skills they'll need to step in seamlessly.
Yeah, I can see how that would make a huge difference in minimizing disruption and ensuring continuity.
Exactly. And he also highlights the importance of regular reviews and updates.
Okay.
Things change, people's circumstances change.
Right.
So it's crucial to revisit the contingency plan periodically
Yeah.
and make sure it still aligns with the family's needs and goals.
So it's not a set it and forget it type of thing. It's
Yeah.
an ongoing process.
Right. And this is where clear communication and documentation come into play again.
Okay.
Everyone needs to know where to find the contingency plan.
Yeah.
And it needs to be written in a clear, concise way that's easy to understand.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about ensuring that the plan is accessible and actionable when it's needed most.
Exactly. And Lacosia stresses that having a well-defined contingency plan isn't just about protecting the family's assets.
Okay.
It's about providing peace of mind. Knowing that there's a plan in place can alleviate a lot of anxiety and uncertainty, even if the unexpected never happens.
I can definitely see that. It's like having insurance.
Yeah.
You hope you never have to use it,
Right.
but it's there to protect you if something goes wrong.
That's a great analogy. And it's important to remember that contingency planning isn't just about those big life-altering events.
Right.
It's also about those smaller, more everyday challenges that can arise.
Okay, so give me an example of a more everyday contingency.
Lacosia talks about a family business where the key decision maker had to take an unexpected leave of absence
Okay.
due to a health issue.
Yeah.
They hadn't clearly defined who would make decisions in their absence,
Oh.
leading to confusion and delays.
Wow. That's a great example. It shows how even a temporary absence can create problems if there's no clear plan in place.
Right, and it highlights how contingency planning isn't just about the big dramatic events.
Right.
It's about having a framework for dealing with any situation
Yeah.
that could disrupt the smooth running of the family or business.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together.
Good.
We've got our values and goals, our plan for leadership succession, and now our contingency plan for those unexpected curveballs life throws our way.
Right.
But what about the actual transfer of ownership and wealth?
Yeah,
How does that all work?
that's a great question. And it's an area where LaCochia provides a lot of valuable insights.
Okay.
He emphasizes that understanding the legal and financial implications is crucial,
Okay.
and he doesn't shy away from the complexities.
Okay, so we're getting into the technical stuff here. I'm ready to take notes.
He starts by differentiating between lifetime transfers and posthumous transfers. Lifetime transfers are gifts given while someone is still alive,
Yeah.
and posthumous transfers happen after they pass away.
So it's about choosing the right timing for those transfers.
Okay.
And I'm guessing there are tax implications to consider as well.
You're exactly right. And LaCochia dives into those details,
Okay.
explaining how things like gift taxes and estate taxes can come into play. He even provides specific examples of how different families have structured their transfers
Okay.
to minimize their tax burden while still achieving their goals.
So it's about being strategic and understanding the rules of the game.
Exactly. And he also stresses the importance of seeking professional advice.
Okay.
He says, and I quote, "Don't try to be your own lawyer or accountant when it comes to these matters."
Good advice. I'd much rather leave that to the experts.
Yeah.
But beyond the taxes, what are some other key considerations when it comes to transferring ownership and wealth?
LaCochia emphasizes the importance of fairness and equity. He encourages families to have open and honest conversations about their expectations.
Yeah.
And to consider the individual needs of each family member.
So it's not just about dividing things equally.
Yeah.
It's about taking into account each person's unique circumstances.
Exactly. And he acknowledges that these conversations can be difficult.
Right.
He even suggests using a framework he calls the Family Fairness Assessment,
Okay.
which helps families to identify potential areas of conflict and to proactively address them.
That's a really helpful tool. It's about preventing those disagreements from turning into full-blown family feuds.
Right. And he also stresses the importance of involving the next generation in these conversations.
Okay.
He says, and I quote, "Don't spring your plans on them at the last minute."
Okay, so it's about transparency and open communication.
Yes.
Even with the younger generation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He believes that involving them early on can help them to understand the reasoning behind the decisions and to feel like they're part of the process.
I can see how that would foster a sense of trust and collaboration.
Exactly. And it also allows the next generation to start developing their financial literacy
Okay.
and to prepare for the responsibility of managing those assets.
So we're not just handing them a pile of money,
Well-
we're equipping them with the knowledge and the skills.
Right.
They need to handle it wisely.
That's right. And LaCochia provides some really practical tips for how to do that.
Okay.
He suggests things like financial education courses, mentoring programs,
Yeah.
and even family meetings where financial matters are discussed openly.
Those are great ideas. It's about creating a culture of financial responsibility within the family.
Exactly. And he also stresses the importance of being mindful of the emotional impact of these transfers.
Okay.
He acknowledges that money can be a loaded topic within families.
Yeah, for sure.
And he encourages families to address those emotional dynamics with sensitivity and respect.
Okay, so we're back to the human element again. It's not just about the numbers.
Right.
It's about how those numbers affect our relationships.
That's right.
Yeah.
And LaCochia provides some really insightful advice on how to navigate those emotional waters.
Okay.
He talks about the importance of clear communication, active listening, and empathy.
Those are valuable skills in any situation, but especially when dealing with something as sensitive as money and inheritance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he also suggests seeking professional... Sometimes an objective third party can help to facilitate those conversations and to ensure that everyone feels heard and understood.
That's a great point. It's not a sign of weakness to seek help.
It is not.
It's a sign of strength and a commitment to doing this right.
Exactly. And speaking of doing things right, LaCochia dedicates a whole chapter to discussing tools and strategies
Okay.
that families can use to manage and protect their wealth, both during their lifetime and after they're gone.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's dive into those tools and strategies.
He starts by talking about the importance of estate planning.
Okay.
And he clarifies that estate planning isn't just about writing a will. It's about creating a comprehensive plan that covers all of your assets and ensures that they're distributed according to your wishes.
So it's a much broader concept
Yes, it is.
than just who gets the house and the car after you pass away.
Exactly. And he goes into detail about different estate planning tools.
Okay.
such as wills, trusts, and powers of attorney.
Okay.
He explains the pros and cons of each.
Okay.
And he even provides real-life examples of how families have used these tools to achieve their specific goals.
That's really helpful. It can be overwhelming trying to figure out all those legal and financial terms on your own.
It definitely can be.
Yeah.
And Lakosha stresses the importance of seeking professional advice from an estate planning attorney
Okay.
who can guide you through the process and help you create a plan that's tailored to your unique needs.
Okay, so estate planning is all about creating a roadmap
Uh-huh.
for how our assets will be managed and distributed.
That's a great way to put it.
But what about those situations where we want to have more control over how those assets are used, even after we're gone? Like, is there a way to do that?
That's where trusts come in. And Lakosha dedicates a whole section to explaining how trusts work
Okay.
and the different types of trusts that families can utilize.
Okay, I'm ready for a trust crash course.
Okay. He starts by explaining that a trust is basically a legal arrangement
Okay.
where one person called the trustee holds and manages assets for the benefit of another person called the beneficiary.
So it's like having a financial guardian angel looking after your money.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And the trustee has a fiduciary duty to act in the best interests of the beneficiary,
Okay.
meaning they have to manage those assets responsibly and according to the terms of the trust agreement.
Okay, that makes sense. But what are the benefits of using a trust? Why not just leave everything to your heirs directly?
Lakosha outlines several advantages. First, trusts can offer asset protection.
Okay.
This means that the assets held in a trust are generally protected from creditors or lawsuits against the beneficiary.
So it's like a safety net for your wealth.
Exactly. He also explains that trusts can be used to minimize estate taxes.
Okay.
And he provides specific examples of how different types of trusts can be structured to achieve significant tax savings.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal of trusts.
Yeah.
They seem like powerful tools for managing and protecting wealth. But what about those situations where we want to use our wealth to support charitable causes?
Okay.
Is there a way to incorporate philanthropy into the succession plan?
Absolutely. And Lakosha discusses this in detail,
Okay.
explaining how families can set up foundations to support the causes they care about.
Okay, so let's talk foundations.
All right.
What are they and how do they work?
Lakosha defines a foundation as a nonprofit organization
Okay.
that's typically established to support charitable causes or to fund specific projects.
Okay.
He explains that families can use foundations to create a lasting legacy of giving
Yeah.
and to make a positive impact on the world.
That's a really inspiring concept. It's about using your wealth to make a difference beyond your own family. But I imagine setting up a foundation can be a complex process.
It can be, and Lakosha acknowledges that.
Okay.
He emphasizes the importance of seeking professional advice from attorneys and financial advisors
Okay.
who specialize in foundation management.
So we're back to the importance of having the right team of experts on your side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he also stresses the importance of involving family members in the foundation's activities.
Okay.
He suggests creating a family council or board to oversee the foundation's operations and to ensure that it reflects the family's values and philanthropic goals.
So it's about making it a family affair,
Right.
not just something that's managed by outsiders.
Right. And he provides some really heartwarming examples of how families have used foundations to strengthen their bonds
Yeah.
and to create a shared sense of purpose.
That's really beautiful. It's about creating a legacy that extends beyond financial wealth and embraces a spirit of giving.
Exactly. And Lakosha emphasizes that setting up a foundation doesn't require immense wealth. He says, and I quote, "Even modest contributions can make a significant difference when pooled together and managed strategically."
Okay, so it's not just for the super rich.
No, it's not.
It's something that any family can consider regardless of their financial situation.
That's right. And he provides some really practical tips for how families can start small and gradually build their foundation over time.
This is all incredibly insightful.
Yeah.
It's like we're opening up a whole new world of possibilities
Yeah.
beyond the traditional financial planning.
Yeah.
But I do have a question. What happens once the plan is in place?
Okay.
Is that the end of the story, or is there more to it?
That's a great question. And it leads us to a topic that Lakosha stresses is often overlooked: post-transition strategies.
Okay, so the work doesn't stop once the papers are signed
It does not.
and the assets are transferred.
No, Lakosha emphasizes that the post-transition phase is just as important as the planning phase, if not more so.
Wow. Okay, so what does this post-transition phase entail? What are some of the key things that families need to focus on?
Likosia stresses the importance of ongoing communication and monitoring.
Okay.
He says that it's crucial to have regular check-ins to see how things are going to address any challenges that arise, and to make adjustments to the plan as needed.
So it's about staying engaged and being flexible even after the initial transition has taken place.
Exactly. And he provides some specific examples of how families have done this successfully.
Okay.
He talks about families who have established regular family meetings or retreats
Okay.
to discuss business matters, financial performance, and any concerns or issues that need to be addressed.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about creating a forum for ongoing dialogue and collaboration.
Right. And Likosia stresses that these check-ins shouldn't just focus on the practicalities.
Yeah.
They should also address the emotional dynamics within the family.
Okay, so we're back to the human element again. It's about making sure everyone feels heard and supported, even after the initial transition has taken place.
Exactly. He even suggests incorporating things like family therapy or counseling into the post-transition plan,
Okay.
especially if there are lingering tensions or unresolved conflicts.
That's a really insightful suggestion. It's about acknowledging that even with the best planning, there can be bumps in the road. And it's important to have a support system in place
Right.
to help families navigate those challenges.
Right. And Likosia emphasizes that this post-transition phase isn't just about problem solving.
Okay.
It's also about celebrating successes and acknowledging the contributions of everyone involved.
So it's about recognizing the hard work and dedication that's gone into creating this plan and making it a reality.
Exactly. He suggests things like holding family celebrations or even creating a family history project
Okay.
to document the journey and to honor those who have played a role in shaping the family's legacy.
Those are really beautiful ideas. It's about acknowledging the past, celebrating the present, and looking forward to the future with a sense of shared purpose and unity.
That's beautifully said. And Likosia stresses that this post-transition phase isn't just about preserving what's been built.
Okay.
It's also about embracing change and allowing the next generation to make their own mark on the family legacy.
So it's about finding that balance between continuity and evolution.
Exactly. He encourages families to be open to new ideas and to empower the next generation to bring their own unique perspectives and skills to the table.
This is all incredibly inspiring. It's like we're shifting the focus from simply protecting the past to actively shaping the future.
That's right. And Likosia emphasizes that this is an ongoing journey, not a destination.
Okay.
He says, and I quote, "The most successful families are those who are willing to learn, adapt, and grow together."
That's a powerful message.
Okay,
It's about embracing the journey and trusting that the future holds endless possibilities.
Exactly. And he also reminds us that even with the best planning, there will be surprises along the way.
Yeah, that's true.
But he says, and I quote again, "It's not about avoiding those surprises. It's about having the resilience and the support system in place to navigate them gracefully."
Okay, I'm feeling incredibly empowered and optimistic.
Right. I like that.
It's like we've gone from feeling overwhelmed by the complexities to feeling excited about the possibilities.
That's fantastic to hear. And I think that's a testament to Likosia's approach. He doesn't shy away from the challenges, but he always emphasizes the importance of family unity, open communication,
Right.
and a shared vision for the future.
Well said. Now, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yes, we have.
But I know there's one more topic that we need to address. Seeking professional guidance. I mean, it can feel like such a tangled web, right?
It can.
Trying to figure out all the legal and financial intricacies of all of this on our own.
Yes, definitely.
So how do we even begin to find the right people to help us?
Well, you're absolutely right. Likosia dedicates a significant portion of his guide to emphasizing this.
Okay.
The importance of building a team of trusted advisors
Okay.
who can provide expert guidance
Okay.
throughout this whole process. He even calls it
Yeah.
assembling your succession planning A-team.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so who are the key players on this A-team?
So first and foremost,
Yeah.
you'll want an estate planning attorney.
Okay, an estate planning
They're
attorney.
the legal experts who can help you create a will, set up trusts, and ensure that all your legal documents are in order.
So they're like the architects of the legal framework
Exactly.
of the succession plan?
Yes, they make sure everything is structured properly and legally sound.
Okay.
Then you'll likely want a financial advisor.
Okay.
They can help you assess your overall financial situation, develop investment strategies, and ensure that your succession plan aligns with your long-term financial goals.
Okay, so they're the ones that help you make sure that the money is working for you
Exactly.
now and in the future.
Precisely. They can also provide valuable insights into things like asset allocation, tax-efficient investing, and even philanthropic giving.
Yeah, I can see how having that financial expertise would be invaluable.
Yes.
Especially when we're talking about potentially large sums of money
Yeah.
and complex financial instruments.
Absolutely. And Lacosia also recommends considering a business consultant if there's a family business involved.
Okay.
They can help you assess the business's value, develop a succession plan for leadership, and guide you through the complexities of transitioning ownership.
So they're like the business strategists.
Yeah.
Helping families make those tough decisions about the future of the company.
That's a great way to put it. They bring an objective perspective and a deep understanding of business dynamics to the table.
This succession planning A-team is starting to sound pretty impressive.
It is a good team to have.
What about the emotional side of things?
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about communication and navigating those family dynamics.
Right.
Are there experts that can help with that as well?
You're thinking like a true succession planning pro.
Okay.
Lacosia absolutely recommends considering a therapist or a counselor, especially if there are existing family conflicts, or if you anticipate that the succession planning process might bring up some sensitive issues.
So they're like the emotional guides, helping
Yeah.
families communicate more effectively, navigate those tricky relational dynamics.
Exactly. They can provide a safe and neutral space for family members to express their feelings, work through their differences, and develop strategies for communicating more effectively.
Okay, this is all incredibly helpful. It sounds like building this team of experts is a crucial step in setting yourself up for success with this.
It absolutely is. Lacosia stresses that you don't have to go through this process alone. There are professionals who can provide the expertise, guidance, and support you need to create a plan that works for your family.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to circle back to the concept of legacy.
Okay.
We've talked about it throughout our conversation, but I think it's worth revisiting.
Yeah.
As we consider like the big picture, what are some key takeaways from Lacosia's insights on how to create a lasting legacy?
That's a great point. Legacy is often seen as the ultimate goal of succession planning.
Right.
And Lacosia provides some really insightful and inspiring guidance on how to approach it.
Okay.
He emphasizes that legacy is about much more than just financial wealth or material possessions.
It's about the values and the stories and the impact we have.
It's about the values, the stories, and the impact we have on the world.
Exactly. So it's about those intangible things that make a family unique that we want to pass down to future generations.
Exactly. He encourages families to think about their legacy as a tapestry,
Okay.
woven together from those individual threads. The values they hold dear, the stories they tell, the traditions they cherish, and the impact they have on their communities and the world around them.
That's a beautiful image. It's like each generation adds its own unique thread to the tapestry,
I love that.
creating a richer and more vibrant design.
And Lacosia also stresses that creating a lasting legacy isn't about achieving some grand monumental feat.
Right.
He believes that even small acts of kindness, generosity, and service can ripple outward and have profound impact on the world.
So it's not about building a statue in our honor.
Right.
It's about living our values and making a positive difference in the lives of others.
Precisely. And Lacosia encourages families to think about their legacy as an ongoing process.
Okay.
Something that's constantly evolving and being shaped by each new generation.
That's a really empowering thought. It's not about creating a static monument to the past.
Right.
It's about planting a seed that will continue to grow and flourish for generations to come.
Beautifully said.
Yeah.
And I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I agree. This has been an incredible journey exploring the world of family succession planning with the insights of C.A. Raj Lacosia as our guide.
It has been.
We've covered a lot of ground,
Yes, we have.
from defining our values and goals to building a plan,
Yes.
navigating the emotional landscape and creating a lasting legacy. But if there's one overarching takeaway I hope our listeners glean from this deep dive, it's that succession planning is not just about protecting assets.
It's not.
It's about protecting relationships.
I couldn't agree more. It's about strengthening family bonds, fostering communication, and creating a shared vision for the future.
Yes.
It's about ensuring that the family story continues enriched and strengthened by each new generation.
Well said. So to our listeners, I encourage you to take what you've learned today and start those conversations with your families.
Yes.
Embrace the journey, seek guidance when needed, and remember that the future of your family legacy is in your hands.
Make it a legacy of love, respect, and shared purpose.